Hi, my name is Takari Lee, and I'm here at Hollywood Unlocked. I just finished up my exclusive interview. You guys check that out. There's some information you're going to want to hear.
What up, everybody? This is Jason Lee, and this is Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored. Well, she's gone.
And it's your boy, Giovanni. Hold on.
As you can see, Melissa Ford is still gallivanting through the land of Bali with all the Indonesians, so God bless her.
Look like she's having the time of her damn life.
What I'd like to know is who is actually taking all these pictures of her, because they actually look pretty good.
Look, I'm convinced that she out there with a nigga.
No, she's out there with the gay homie and his boyfriend.
Oh, well, they know how to take pictures.
Yeah, they're doing great. Well, you know, gay people know how to do a lot of things. God bless her. So Melissa's off today, and we are going to carry the show all by ourselves. So there's no estrogen in the room, and don't even crack no jokes about being gay.
I was just about to say, it's some estrogen in here.
No, there isn't.
Oh, man. Well, I'm happy, man. We miss you, Melissa. Hurry your ass back.
Or not. Anyway, just like, yeah, we miss you. All right, so I guess this is where we talk about all the exciting things we've been doing over the week and the weekend. So what have you been doing?
Not much, man. I'm still apartment hunting. I hate it so much.
It really is the worst.
I hate it. I'm still looking. So, I'm very particular on where I lay my head. You know, it took me a long time to find my spot after my departed ways from my ex. So this was probably going to take the same amount of time.
So I've lived in the same area for probably 8 to 9 years in Hollywood. I just literally hop from block to block. How do you go about? So there is no process for looking for an apartment. I just drive around and go, shit, I ain't lived there. I'll try that one.
No, I'm all about energy. I was in Koreatown, and then I moved to Hollywood, actually right around the block from here. Mm-hmm. But I'm all about convenience, you know. So I'm about convenience, and I'm all about just how the apartment looks. Like I like modern. Like I went to Koreatown. I was not in the basement. I was in the mezzanine floor, and it was more of a.
I forgot about the basement days.
It was more.
we all start somewhere.
People still hit me up in my DMs about, you still in the basement, bro? Like, no, I'm not. Funny. I've never been in the basement. But no, I'm all about upgrading. So now I have my last apartment was really modern, really up to date, very beautiful. Now I'm trying to go above that.
Nice.
So I'm all about energy and convenience.
Would you do roommates?
No.
Really?
I'm a grown ass man.
Yeah, but I feel like in LA, grown people have roommates because we're all on a hustle out here.
I can't do it.
No.
I like to walk around butt ass naked. I like to have a whole bunch of girls coming in and out. I can't do it.
Yeah, I think for me it's privacy. I just cherish my privacy.
Yeah, and I like jacking off anywhere in the house.
Okay,
in any reason.
You can jack off in your I was gonna say your boyfriend, sorry. Your roommate leaves, you know what I'm saying? You jack off in the living. I mean, you can accommodate your needs.
I've been caught jacking off before, and it's not a liberating feeling.
I ain't gonna lie. When I came back from New York, I had moved to New York for 6 months. When I came back, I didn't have an apartment, so I said to my friend, I'm just gonna stay with you for a little bit. And we ended up partying so much, I stayed there for like 2 years. But we became roommates, and I remember, I used to fuck all through his house. I remember one time he came in, I was fucking in his bed. He was offended.
Oh, I would be offended as well.
But I have one more bad roommate story. So I had told the story on the show before where one of my friends brought me a Dominican for my birthday. And he didn't have no clothes, and Zara wasn't open, and we had to go to a pool party. So I was like, just take his clothes. So he went in his room and not only took his shorts, but took his underwear.
Oh, my
and
God.
Took more things that he liked and packed it in his luggage. So when my friend came back.
Now he's stealing.
When my friend came back, he saw the underwear and was like, wait a minute, those look like mine. And I go, really? And then the shorts, he was like, those look like mine too. So he went through his luggage and found his clothes, and he just really wasn't happy.
I would not be happy as well either. Like I remember the first time I had to loan one of my boys some underwear, and I didn't feel good about it.
Mm.
You know, would you wear somebody's underwear?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, absolutely think about it, right?
I'm not wearing nobody else's underwear. No, even if I was in a relationship with you, I'm not using your toothbrush. I'm not wearing your underwear.
I used to use my ex's toothbrush.
Ugh, that's filthy.
I mean, I didn't know it was hers.
No, but it doesn't matter. Filthy. Okay, well, this week I went to Canada. Went out there for the fights.
Wait, you was in Canada?
Yeah, I went to Toronto.
The fuck?
I went to Toronto and Vegas, but I went to Toronto with the money team to watch the fights, and it's so crazy that Badu Jack. I don't watch boxing, I don't watch sports, but when I'm around the team, I do watch the fights. Badu Jack has been robbed. This is the second time. Last time I saw him was in New York at Barclays against DeGaulle, who was from London. He lost on a draw, which he clearly beat the guy's ass, knocked his teeth out and everything. Dude was like basically had to leave in an ambulance. This one, he got into he was fighting another guy named Adonis, who I guess can't leave Canada because he's been arrested for rape or he's been in prison. Not rape, he was a pimp. He was a pimp, so he's banned from leaving Canada. So we had to bring
boxing pimp.
he got beat up. And they call it a draw again. So I'm just like, damn, how do you keep the spirit of continuing to fight when you get robbed?
Politics.
Well,
Politics.
You're gonna get another rematch and more money.
Yeah, I know. That's why sometimes they do it. You know, just like with Triple OG and Canelo, that draw, they want to see another fight.
Well, I was upset. I was upset for him. So I walked up to him. I said, I don't even watch sports, but you got robbed.
You was in. I didn't see you in Canada. You didn't post nothing that you was in Canada.
Yeah, actually, I did. I posted that. I didn't post it on my Instagram. I posted on my story.
Oh, okay.
But I had dinner at the Six Pick. What is Drake's restaurant called? Yeah, what's it called?
Wait, Drake got a restaurant?
What's Drake restaurant called? Six Pick? Okay, well, I had dinner at Six Pick on Saturday. Sunday, there was a shooting and somebody got killed.
At Drake's restaurant.
They got out the car, chased the boy down, and killed him in Toronto. I'm like, y'all really got it? Y'all popping out here like that?
How was the food, though?
The food was, I mean, we went to Spaghetti Factory, the whole Spaghetti Factory.
Have you ever had Virginia Black, his drink?
No, I don't. I'm not a, no.
It's bottled beautifully. But
Is it really?
It's not smooth.
I mean, I don't look at Drake and say, you drink cognac. You know, maybe some bottled water or something, but some sparkling water. But anyway, shout out to Drake. The restaurant is beautiful. Toronto is beautiful. The people out there showed me a lot of love. They love our show.
Good.
People were chasing me down in the mall to tell me how much they love
I actually have to go there, I think in like less than a month. Because we're starting Press Tour for Canal Street, and Toronto is where we're filming in one of the festivals out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
The people
Never been.
The people of Toronto were so nice. The streets were so clean. We spent a lot of time shopping, and I mean, I didn't buy shit, but the malls were really nice. The people were just overly nice, and so I didn't know that we had that many fans. It's so crazy with the show, you forget how many people actually see the show.
Yeah.
But I did want to say to everybody, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. Go and listen to the show, download, share to friends. Send it to all your exes, especially the one that we talk about, fuck boys and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you can see this beautiful face of mine.
Yeah, turn the camera here. Mine. All right, so listen, I ran into a young entrepreneur, 20-year-old Miles Davis, not affiliated
the jazz
with
player.
the jazz musician. But he created an app because now I'm in the process of going back and dealing with back tax stuff. He created an app where you could become financially responsible.
And that's great. That's something I definitely need. And I checked it out, and it's very, very suitable for what I'm going through.
Well, I was just saying, like, okay, it's a right now it's in the beta stages. So he sent me the advanced prototype downloads. I download, I play with it, whatever. And it's basically an app for, you know, the 18 to 24 demographic. So right out of high school and college for the young people that need to know how to budget their shit. And I was thinking, when I was 18, 19, 20, would I have used an app to manage all the drug money that I was making?
I don't think I would have, because I'm 18, 19, 20. I'm young. I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to make more of it.
And you don't think about responsibility.
You don't think about it. Now I think about that shit.
Well, I like the app. And if I knew then what I knew now, I would be using something to help me govern my shit, because the way I mean, sometimes, you know, I would just spend my credit card. This is back when I had a bookkeeper. I don't have one now. I'm getting a new one. But he would call me and be like, why did you just spend $1,000? First of all, don't call me and ask me why I'm spending my money. But he was helping me track my finances. I think that, I think most young people need to get something like it.
What do you like about the app?
What I like is the social media component, where you can actually share each other's content and you can see other people's strategies and advice. Because as a person who may be 18 straight out of high school versus a person that's finishing their fourth year in college, you may have different experiences. They may have already gone through what you're about to go through. So to be able to socialize with people and get advice or ways of saving or tracking your finances, I think is great. I didn't have help at 18. The only help I had at 18 was from my mom saying, get the fuck out. And that was the best thing she ever did to me. But yeah.
Man, my grandmother was opening up stuff in my name at 18 though, and I had no idea, but that's kind of reason why my credit got good. And she did that on purpose, you know. And a lot of people don't know what beta is. That's kind of like, it's not out, it's still kind of like in the works, like almost like a prototype. Did you see any glitches or any improvements or? No,
but one thing that I would say that I would like to see is I would love to see if there's a way to input your personal information and have your credit score as like at the top of it, because people don't understand how your finances and how maybe you may get a Macy's credit card or you may get something, you know, sign up for credit cards. Those inquiries, they affect your credit score. So being able to look at your finances, look at your credit score, that's something that I would want to see.
Yeah, I would like that too. Like if you get like a a notification, push pop-up notification about when your credit goes up or down. The second it does it, I think that would be dope.
Well, anyway, yeah, I absolutely think every young person should download it. So let me see if I can find out this information. It's called the Milo Financial app. So go download it, test it out, try it, tell a friend. It's it's free and it's a download.
Yeah.
It's a beta test right now.
Yeah,
So
and let's support Black-owned businesses, man. Come on, let's get this guy to $1 billion.
yep, support our Black businesses, and we're gonna get to some music. But when we come back, we're gonna have Jackie Christie's daughter in here spilling all the tea. So stay tuned. We have Takari Lee Christie in the building.
What's up, Takari? That's a beautiful name.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's so crazy how the universe works. I keep trying to tell people that social media brings the world close together because I was just laying in my house, probably eating Taco Bell. I should stop eating Taco Bell, by the way.
That's probably why you was having them damn chest pains.
Oh my God, I thought I was having a heart attack last night. But anyway, and I was watching Basketball Wives, but happened to flip through and saw that you were on live talking about the show. So for people that may have been living under a rock and may not have heard of you, you are the daughter of Jackie Christie.
I am.
Not Doug Christie, though.
No, he's my stepdad.
Okay. So I first became familiar with you, I don't know if it was last season or the season before, when the whole, where you just came out of nowhere and it was like, boom. And honestly, I've known your mom for a long time and I didn't even know about you.
That's crazy. But you know what? A lot of people say the same thing.
Really?
Really.
Yeah.
Whenever I've come around, I've known your mom for 3 or 4 years. I've seen everybody. Where'd you come from?
Well, and I've known Chantel.
Right.
I mean, I've known them for 6-7 years, maybe. I did not know that she had other children. Are you two the only children?
No, we have a brother named Douglas, and he's 16 or 17.
Okay. I don't know if I know about him either. But anyway, yeah, like I said, just disclaimer, I know your mom. I have a really good relationship with your mom, except she keep it secret because I know about her kids. But, I have a good relationship with your mom, so I just put that out there. So tell me, okay, so you were born, you're 28 years old.
Right.
And just so for the people that don't know you, I want them to get a chance to know you. So you were raised by your mom.
I was raised by my grandmother, my mom's mom.
I saw that. I mean, I read some of that in your book, but were you ever raised by your mom?
When I was 9, she had me and my grandmother move into the same home with them.
Okay.
And grandma just kind of took over the role of mom for everybody, me and my sister.
Okay. And so how old is Chantel?
She's 4 years younger than me, so 24.
Okay, so 24. And so when your mom moved in, when your grandmother moved in, did she move in because your mom needed help, or is it because she just...
I guess, that's what I think the plan was. I was too young to have a definite, but before we had a different plan in place. My grandma kept me. She would take me to visit in Canada or whatnot, wherever my stepdad was playing. And we'd go visit for a couple of weeks, and then we'd go back home. Then one summer, off season, they were in Washington. They're always in Washington in the off season. When he played, they were there, and my grandma started packing our stuff, and she's like, "We're moving." And I'm like, "Where?" "We're moving in with your mom." And I was like, "What?"
Wait, but at that time you were living with your grandmother.
I've always been with grandma.
So that's what I was trying to get at. So were you ever raised by your mom?
No.
So you were born and then you went to live. So from infant, from a baby, you went to live with your grandmother.
Same thing with me. Yeah.
But why? Do you know? Have you ever been told why?
You know what? No. And that whole life that was before everything else changed, they kind of made it disappear. I wasn't able to talk about my own father. I wasn't allowed to get that information.
So you know your father?
Oh yeah, I know him.
Okay, got you.
Definitely.
So why didn't you live with your dad?
My dad was in prison.
Okay.
And the way that things happened between my mom's family and my dad's family when they split up or whatever, it wasn't good.
Okay.
So my mom pretty much took me over here. My grandma had me, I visited dad's family, but not a lot.
But did your mother ever explain to you why she took you from your dad's family but didn't take you with her?
I haven't got any explanation from anything from my mom. It's just a bunch of denial in a sense of you're just feeling some type of way.
So the way the book opens, you have a book called Lights to Her Shadow, which you authored. You open up just being very clear that the purpose of, and I'll let you tell in your own words, but the purpose of writing the book was to clarify any misperceptions of your participation in what people are saying about your story, right?
Right.
And also that you feel like your mother has tried to capitalize or benefit from your story and all that in her show.
Most definitely. I feel that more this season. Last season, I kind of expected it to go that way. Before the season was shot, me and my son were in the media everywhere. You know, they had the donation money come up. They had to cover it. I figured they were going to cover it.
So for those listening and not understanding, this was what I recall. This is where I found out you existed.
Right.
Your son, one of your sons, you have 3 boys.
Right.
One of your sons had been burned.
Right.
And then you basically, she didn't reach out to you or try to help you or anything. Is what you alleged.
No, my son was
So what happened? Tell the story for those of people who are just trying to catch up.
Yeah, definitely. So my son was 8 months old. He was in daycare. I was gone to work, and I received a call that I needed to get to the emergency room. He basically poured hot water down from a bottle warmer onto himself.
Oh.
And all of his right shoulder, face, ear, everything was badly burned, 2nd and 3rd degree burns. He was in the hospital for about maybe 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
We went home. My cousin contacted me, asked me did I want her to start the GoFundMe. I agreed, go ahead. She started the page. I went home. It was on the local news in Washington State.
And you were living in Washington at the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I've always resided up in Washington.
Okay.
The news covered it. People that knew us, I had like 1,500 followers on Instagram. Like, it was nothing. But they reached out and they donated and whatnot. We made, I want to say $1,800 before this hit the media.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a month later that the media found out.
Because they found out it was her grandkid.
Yes. Now, how that happened is, I guess I haven't watched, because I don't watch Basketball Wives until it pertained to me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there was an episode. My mom had a wedding somewhere. Doug surprised her in Europe somewhere with a wedding. And I guess she said, I'm so happy to have all my family here, and a blog site, a different blog went and looked at my page like, why isn't Takari there? And when she went, she seen that I had posted about my son's accident and stuff. And then she's like, wait, your son got hurt? That's Jackie's grandson. Wait, what's going on? And start putting 2 and 2 together. Mm-hmm. Before I knew it, literally, I'm sitting on my house on a Sunday, and it just like a wildfire.
So with the accident after with your baby, like, it sounds like everything worked out perfectly fine. But I know in a similar situation with my daughter, when she fell off the bed at 6 months and she broke her wrist, like, they were on my head, even at CPS. Like, did you have any problem with anything like that, Child Protective Services, or anybody question your motherhood?
No, because the daycare he went to, they were like family. Mm-hmm. I knew these people very well. They took care of my other children before. Mm-hmm. I don't want to call myself a champion mother, but my kids are my life, and everybody that knows me knows this. Mm-hmm. So they was actually like, why are all the kids her kid? Like, that's how they kind of felt. But no, no one ever questioned anything. And I was not there, so there's people that say stuff on the internet, but.
What was your relationship like with your mom at the time? Were you all at even? Were you talking at all?
And that's what I try to get everybody to understand. Mm-hmm. That year, my mom and I had spoken probably February. The last conversation, I don't remember it. I just know it was around that time. And then months passed, birthdays, anniversaries. I'm sending happy birthday, Doug, happy birthday, Mom, happy anniversary. And I wasn't getting responses over like 4 months.
So why did she choose to? And I'm asking these questions because I don't know the answer. So people would say, "Oh, stop leading her to the edge." No, I really don't understand.
Right.
I had a really checkered past with my mom. My mom is deceased now, and I went through the whole loved her, hated her, forgave her. Now she's gone, and it's just life is what it is. Right. But what was it that stopped you guys from talking?
I don't know. And normal, when my mom would call me,
because I thought I had seen something where you had said, or somebody had said it was because you were dark skinned. That
was put out there by my mom herself.
Okay.
And that was in 2011. In my book, some events happened, and I started becoming vocal on the internet at that point.
What events happened?
I was staying in a rental property of my mom's, and just one day, I'd been there for like a year, and one day I'm cooking dinner, and there's a knock at the door, and it's all my aunts and their husbands, and they have trash bags, and they're like, "Hey, we're here to help you," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Your mom said, come help you pack your stuff and move out the house. The bank is taking the house in the morning.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm like, what? So I'm obviously.
Did you have kids at the time?
I had a 2-month-old baby. My second son was 2 months old.
Wow. And so you were being evicted by your mom and didn't know?
I didn't know. So I instantly get on the phone and, call the bank. The bank is coming to take the house at 8 o'clock in the morning. You have to leave tonight.
You didn't have a day.
I didn't, nothing,
and
not even
you had
hours.
no plan of where to go?
Nothing.
And you didn't have support from your parents?
No, nobody. My family was on her side because she's paying them.
So what ended up happening?
They ended up going into every room in the house, sweeping our stuff in this trash bag, throwing it in the back of this U-Haul. I went to a hotel that night, and I was there for about 2 weeks.
With how many kids at the time?
2.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so did she call you? Did you talk to her after that to say, what the fuck? What happened? Why didn't you tell me?
I was on the phone with her the whole time, begging her, okay, if you want me to leave, I'll leave tonight, but can I pack my stuff, like some dignity in this? Or, and she just like trying to soothe me through the process. And I just was like, whatever. I talked to her the whole time. I've never shut her out. Like, I've never like, you did this to me, I'm done with you. Like,
see, where did the you were treated differently or she didn't like you because you were dark come from?
That came from her treating me differently is my thing. Her saying that I have an issue with the family because I'm dark skinned is her way of shutting everything that happened in 2011 in the media when I stopped talking. Of course, she's doing interviews. They're like, so your daughter was saying what happened? And her answer was, Takari's always felt this way because she's darker and she's heavier.
Wow. So even with that being said, I was reading that another reason, one alleged reason that you guys have a hard time talking is because of your speech impediment. Mm-hmm. Well, did that come from birth or did you develop that? Because it says that you're 70% deaf in one ear, 30% deaf in the other ear. Right. How did that come about? Were you born with that or was that something triggered from
I was
stress?
Born with it. My grandma had hearing problems too. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I was with her. So they didn't diagnose me until the end of first grade. So I redid first grade because the whole year I pretty much did not know what was going on. Mm. I'm in the class with all this stuff. I needed specialized hearing aids and stuff like that.
And they didn't know you needed that?
They didn't know. When my grandma found out, that's when my mom did get it handled for me or whatnot. But as far as the appointments and getting everything taken care of and can tell you what's going on, my grandma would have to do that.
How was that growing up with that, with the speech impediment?
It was hard. I'm just now comfortable speaking within the last maybe year or so. Mm-hmm. It's something I can't change and I just had to accept it. It makes me feel very different, but at the same time, it's me, So
are you able to, like, because I don't know the different levels of someone being deaf. Mm-hmm. Obviously you can hear. Mm-hmm. So what's the difference between, like, can you read lips? Do you know sign language?
Yes, I
so
think
somebody trying to talk
not sign language.
With every other struggle in a nigga's life, we figured this shit out.
We figured I definitely am a lip reader. I don't do sign language. But
listen, I was just in the Dominican Republic and I was fucking around with a little Venezuelan that didn't speak English. We figured it all out real easily. There's applications, there's pointing, drawing. Nigga, get over here. Anyway.
We're gonna figure it out.
So you can read lips though?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a lip reader.
So let me go back to the day that your kid was burned at the daycare. So when that happened, so that's when it's sort of like boiling water. Things were percolating, but now shit is getting hot. Okay, so then when the blogger, what blog was it? We can shout him out.
Yeah, definitely. It's Instagram_beauties.
Oh, so it was just a random Instagram_beauties. You better get your life out there getting these. So this person put 2 and 2 together because I remember seeing it starting to pop up. Mm-hmm. And so they put out the story, and then what happened?
Literally like a wildfire, like in minutes. Mm-hmm. She said, watch this. After she messaged me and she's like, you're Jackie's daughter, right? Yep. What happened to your son? And I kind of told her what was going on, and it was on my page, period. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it'd been happening. We were at home. He's in the healing process for a month now when this happened. And then she just started tagging. She put it on her page, what was going on. So everybody that followed her started going to my mom. I mean, it turned into like craziness.
So in your book, Lights to Her Shadow, do you like talk about it in detail?
So that's coming in the next book.
That's in the next book. Okay. Yeah. So we'll get to this book. Okay. So because I want to stay here because it's getting good. All right. So when the blogger broke the story to your mother picking up the phone and calling you, like what was that timeline?
And I had to look back just for my own records. That it broke in the media October 15th. He was burned on September 20th.
And you hadn't talked to her from September 20th to October 15th?
No. I hadn't talked to my mom since February of 2016. My son got burned September 20th, 2016.
When did you, September 20th?
I still have not talked to my mom.
So on September 20th, from there to, when did you tell her that your son was burned?
My sister called me at the hospital.
Chantel?
Yeah, so it got around the family within minutes.
Okay, so Chantel called to say, how is everything?
She called me in the emergency room, like as soon as I got there, and was able to see my son and whatnot and calm myself down. The phone rang and it was my sister, like, what the hell is going on?
And did she then tell you, mom said, hopefully the baby's okay?
She didn't have any. I talked to her for a split second, and then I just dropped the phone. I can't talk right now. Like, I don't even know what, So I dropped the phone. but she never said anything about my mom. You know, it was just what's going on. I tried to explain it to her the best I could, and then I just got off the phone. My son was transported from that hospital to a more advanced hospital that could handle the level of his injuries. And I didn't talk to anyone, maybe a lawyer. My brother was there for me and my uncle, a couple of my cousins, but I never.
So did Jackie ever call?
Jackie called the first time I spoke to my mom was December 10th of 2016.
So she never sent a gift basket, a teddy bear, a flowers.
She didn't send a text like, ha, 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 look what happened to you, like nothing. Like I wasn't worth anything. And that's why I don't think people understand the past is the past. I'm not dwelling over that. You know, I know I was treated different, and I know that my mom feels a different way about me than her other kids. It's okay. Wow. The new modern day stuff, that really makes me question, like, my kids haven't done anything. You know, they deserve to be loved or whatnot. So when she didn't reach out, that said a lot to me.
So when I was a kid, my mother, she raised us to I was about 7. My sister was about 4. Maybe I was 8. My sister was 5. But anyway, she started to use drugs and got into drugs really heavy in prostitution, and she just couldn't take care of kids anymore.
Right.
So she put me in foster care, and she put my sister with her father. So I didn't go to my family. I went to foster care. So I understand the dynamic of, okay, you're going to take this one, but then you're going to give this one up. So I get that. And I also understand forgetting that, like, okay, that happened.
Right.
We adults now. We grown.
Right.
What do you think, if you had to guess, the thing was that caused the separation from you and your mom to be where it was from an earlier age? Because it doesn't seem like anything happened unless, did she have animosity towards your dad? Did she have issues with, what was the issue?
It would have to be something like that. There's not one single incident I can sit there and say.
You weren't burning her house up. You weren't, stabbing her boyfriends.
I wasn't doing. I was minding my business being a kid, and then after a while, I was so used to being with grandma, I didn't want to go. When she came, like, I was attached to my grandma to the point where I couldn't even go to daycare. They kicked me out of daycare because I would scream and cry until I throw up, and she'd come and get me.
So with all this stuff that's been happening at this point, up until this point, what age did the depression kick in? Because, there's a show right now, is Willow, Jada, and her grandmother, and Willow goes into Red Table Talk, and she goes into talk about how she was in a point in her life where she was in this dark hole, and she started cutting herself. So I see that you started cutting yourself. What age did all this start transpiring?
Around 11 or 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's even younger than Willow. What?
Yeah, it was bad. Like, I didn't want to wake up in the morning. Like, I'm not lying, And when I did, I was trying to find a place to go hide. I just didn't want to be seen because it just seemed like it was always going to be something.
So these suicide letters, are these letters that you still have?
No, I don't still have them anymore. And it
would have been great to publish in your book.
Right. It would have, but I don't have them. I just remember the first one I wrote really in detail, because it was really strong feelings I had.
Yeah. What did you say?
The most important thing I remember about it was I said the last part is my very last breath. I'm leaving it for my grandmother. Like, the time I was here, you're the only part of it that I experienced and enjoyed. Wow. I appreciate you for loving me.
And when you wrote that, was the intention to kill yourself?
Yes, it was. I was done. I just.
So what happened?
Wait, before you do that, let me ask a question. Did you know what love felt like from a parent or a parent figure as a kid?
Grandma. Okay. Yes, from my grandma. Like, even today as an adult, besides my grandmother and my own children, I can't say that anybody's ever loved or cared about Cardi. And that's just, I can't accept it, in a sense. Even if you do love me, I'm sorry, like, I don't know how to feel love. Like, I guess I don't know how to get it from you because I just can't explain it.
See, as a kid, I never really cared about my father loving me, but did you care about your mother loving you?
That's all I wanted. Like, I wanted her to accept me. I wanted her to be able to look at me, and I didn't have to feel like she's, picking me apart or like she's disgusted right now. I just wanted to be accepted, comfortable and accepted.
And so I read in your book where you inserted one of the text messages, one of the many text messages that you've had with her, and it was like, you were reaching out and reaching out and reaching out, and then she was like just shooting you down. And it reminded me of the way me and my mother used to talk to each other. What do you think was driving her anger and hostility towards you and perception that you were trying to take advantage of her or somehow set her up to sue her or something like that?
Right. I was naive. I believed anything. So when I say, Mom, you wrote Chantel's book, you put an album out for her, you're working on Lil Dougie's book, and you wrote books, I want to do something too. I want to write a story about my life, you know. Do you want to help me? And you seen the response. It was, oh, that's extortion, and why do you want to slander the people that love you? And that's the fear is this book. I don't know that story. I'm telling you right now, I don't know.
And so what's that book?
This is Game Crazy, and it's by my brother Tyrone. That's my from my dad's side. His oldest son wrote the story about his life, and he was there before I was, you know, and what my dad went through, how he got into the business once him and my mom met, how their business flourished, and what all happened is right there, you know. I don't know that story though. I wouldn't have put it in my book.
So your baby's burned on the 20th of September. You don't hear from Jackie until December. So between there, shit's just on fire. The internet is going Hollywood Unlocked by this time. It's posting where everybody's posting it by this point. What from there? When did you start? Did you just say I'm going to take my voice back and start being vocal on social media, or did you reach out to the show and say I want to be in the show, or did the show reach out to you?
No, and
because some people would say, what I've seen online or from her, you're just using this opportunity to be famous or to have a platform or to whatever.
Right.
What do you say to that?
Before that day when that stuff went viral, even when my son was burned, you know, it was a level of acceptance, and that's one situation. This is another. This one I'm living in, I got to take care of me and my kids. I'm going to focus on this. I wasn't worried or concerned. Like, I had a job. I was living my life. You know, my life is never, I'm not into material things. I'm different, and I get that. And that may be a little disconnect with me and my mom, too. But that's not my goal, you know. I literally was thrown into all this.
And did the show reach out to you?
Never.
So how did you get into the show?
So when my book got on the show, Evelyn Lozada, after she donated the money, she did it the same day or within a day or so.
On the GoFundMe account.
Right. I messaged, and I was thanking everyone for their donations. So when I went to her Instagram, I sent her a message thanking her, letting her know I appreciate it.
You didn't reach out to her?
To Evelyn?
On
Instagram.
I just wrote a message.
Meaning you didn't reach out to her and say, please donate to my GoFundMe.
Oh, no. I didn't reach to nobody.
She did that on
one
her own.
person. Exactly.
How much did she donate?
$3,500. I
Okay,
believe.
that's nice.
I sent a message the day she sent the money. She didn't get it maybe 3 months later or something. When she finally responded.
Okay.
And she's like, oh, I just got this or whatever, and, you know, you're welcome, and, you know, whatnot. I've never spoken to Evelyn on the phone. When they reached out or when the show wanted something from me, they would use Evelyn. Get see if she'll give you the manuscript to her book or whatnot. And I'm okay with that. I'm about to give it to the world. You know, I'm not trying to single out Jackie or, you know, have you have ammunition on my mom, because that's not what my book is about. You know, the whole situation, though, when they come at you at, why did you donate $3,500? Like, you're wrong for doing that. Well, you could say, well, apparently it was needed. You know, here's the story right here. That's one of the main reasons I wanted my book out too. You know,
did you feel like when the blogs picked it up and when Evelyn helped catapult your story a little bit more into the public eye, that it was like finally you had somebody championing you, like you finally had somebody, you had your back?
That was close.
I told her that too. And I was like, Evelyn, I appreciate, you know, you throwing yourself in the fire like that. That means a lot for me.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely didn't have to do that.
Right, definitely. And even with all the backlash from my mom saying the bad stuff to other people, like, oh, you were just inserting yourself, I wanted to make sure she knew me and my family were appreciative, besides what, you know, they're not speaking for us. We appreciate what you did. Thank you very much. That was my goal. And that's how I communicate with them. It's not like, hey, girl, what's up? What is Jackie doing today? Like, tell me, you know, we don't communicate like that. She's a very supportive type of person.
Yeah. So what are your aspects on life now? Like, what's your outlook on life now? Like, you've been through this emotional roller coaster. You've been up and down, highs and lows. You've been through the dark. Now, where's your mindset now?
Living my best life. I just want to be happy. And nobody's going to provide that for me. I don't need certain relationships to do that. My kids and I are building wonderful relationships, and that's what I want, you know.
Do you feel like the relationship with you and your mother is what makes you and your children so close?
Yes. That's all I think about. When I speak to my children, I just want to make sure, like, if I'm upset with you, I'm going to explain myself. Like, I don't want you to question your mother's love ever. Like, I would never want my kid to, you know. No, I'm not even mad at, you know, like, I'm disappointed or something, but this is why. And it's helped them. They're very mature because of it, but they're also boys. So I'm considering their feelings. Like, everything I do. This is a man one day. Yeah. I want to be careful with him, you know. So that's how I do my parenting with my kids.
Well, like I was saying, I was laying in bed watching Basketball Wives this season, and here, now Chantel went up to speak to Evelyn to try to get those two to talk again, and it looks like your mom is still mad that she helped you. And here you are back in the storyline. So I have two questions. One, why do you think your mother is holding on to the anger towards Evelyn for helping you? And two, what stops you from saying, you know what, bitch, fuck that. I'm going to take control because fuck that. I'm going to take control and I'm going to be out in this motherfucker. I'm going to be on Sunset Boulevard every motherfucking day with banners, with my 3 kids sitting on fucking lawn chairs and an ice box and a lemonade stand saying, my mom won't help me, so help us pay our rent. Buy some motherfucking limit. Because honestly, like, I act out when I get betrayed. And
that was me before.
And mama, and I will say, and if Jackie was in the room, and I'm sure I'm going to get a call, and I'm sure she'll be up here, that I handled my relationship with my mother very differently. She was all types of bitches. She was all types of go fuck yourselves. It wasn't until she got sick that I realized I had to forgive her, because that was for me. Right. I had to let that go. I made sure that, and I intentionally made sure that she suffered.
Right.
Because being,
she made you suffer.
Yeah, being rejected.
Right.
Yeah. When you're young, you grow up with psychological fuckery. Right. From not understanding why your ass is supposed to love me. Now, all these other motherfuckers, they ain't gotta like me, but you supposed to.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
So the first question is I forgot the first question. I just want to get to the second question. What prevents you from saying, no, why do you think your mom's, it's back in the story, like why she's still holding on to resentment with Evelyn? And then the second question is, what's preventing you from just going postal?
Definitely. The storyline is now what Basketball Wives is using to keep attention. Not a lot of people care about who Evelyn slept with anymore. They've got on, they know that. What else is Tammy? She's there, but she doesn't want to be there. It's so much going on. They only can fall back on this because it's real. It's the only real issue that they have going on this show. Now what they're doing, though, is turning it in for entertainment, and that's where my problem comes in. I didn't come out trying to say, I'm writing a book, and I'm all about my mom. Like I said, I was pushed out here, and I had no choice besides to get my side out. Because they're on TV talking about me, before I could. They
have a platform, you didn't.
Right. So I did what I had to do to make that happen. I can't tell you why she would still have a problem with Evelyn. If there's somebody
why does she have a problem with the fact that Evelyn helped you?
Because it brought to light everything I said. Everything I said.
Because you were a secret until then.
Of course.
Okay. And your story and your history with her is a secret.
And it highlighted the fact that she did not reach out. Like, why wouldn't you reach out for your grandchild? Even a phone call. Like, the money's not the problem. It was a way to get money, and we figured that out.
So I talked to Laura Govan yesterday, because she was supposed to be the co-host today. She didn't make it, but because Melissa's out of town. But she was saying she didn't want to come unless you were okay with her being here. And I don't know the whole history. What was Laura's role in it? Because she had did she bring the story out, or how did that?
She spoke to my sister on season 2 or something. Okay,
right. And that's when her and Jackie fell out.
Right.
Because of that.
But they took that opportunity, and I'm not going to say that Laura was weaker than Evelyn or anything, but they pretty much attacked her. And she was like, and she let it go, which is understandable. I would too. If I'm trying to do something for somebody and it causes me harm, makes sense. So I think she just was like, I don't want to do that. It amazes me that my mom can say something and it just becomes apparent. Like, She gave that money to, Evelyn gave that money to GoFundMe to embarrass me or, to get in my family's problem. And that's all people think about now.
Because she doesn't see it as you really needed the support.
Exactly. When Laura went on that show, she attacked them. Why would you call my kids and use my kids against me? And she played the victim role, and everybody kind of looked at Laura like.
So when you were watching the show, what was your reaction to it?
I was shocked. My sister actually lived in the same apartment as me. Like, we lived a building away when she did that interview. And I didn't know. She didn't tell me until it aired. And she's like, Kari, tonight something's going to come on TV. I was shocked. I was happy because she, it's the truth. And if anybody tells the truth, it's going to sound just like that. But most of the time, they don't tell the truth. They go and say what they want to say.
And so when you were watching it, again, now my second question is, what prevented you from just buying you a nice little camera and a light and just going and just doing a bitch you tried it blog every day? Bitch you tried it. Bitch you tried it. Bitch you tried it. What prevent? Because I think I might start a bitch you try to blow. I just thought of that.
Right?
What prevented you from doing that?
I'm not angry at Jackie. I'm not like.
I was just about to ask you that.
I'm not angry at Jackie. I don't. What good would it do me to be mad at you? I'm 28 years old now. Okay?
You don't call her mom?
Sometimes, depending on how fast I'm talking. If it come out, then it comes out. But sometimes, it's just more comfortable to me to call her Jackie.
So, but do you think so you didn't do it because you're not mad, but I would go ahead and say that, it's a reflection of your character too, because if you really were a cold, mean person, and I wasn't even a cold, mean person, I was just hurt.
Right. Listen, and then delete real quick, because I get ready, especially when I watch that show, I be like, oh, no. But I
watched you on your live, and I was going to send you some pointers on, this is how you react when you're mad.
Right.
Because, as much as people would say, because this is what used to bother me, people used to say, you know what, Jason? My brother who's dead now, in fact, his birthday's today. What he used to say to me was, no matter what your mom did to you, that's still your mother. Or no matter what your mom did to you, you only got one of them.
That one right there.
But you know what? That doesn't make it easy to deal with.
I don't understand what people say. What did that mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, I had a mother, but it was not the mother that birthed me. The motherly instincts and stuff that I have, I try to make my kids feel how my grandmother made me feel. Yeah. Like those are my goals. I don't get you only get one. I had one.
You even went in on your book where you said your mom capitalized off your grandmother's death and actually kept her from the rest of the family and used it for a storyline.
My grandmother escaped my mother while she was
can I just say, I'll just be honest, for the viewing audience, because I'm going to read the fucking book. For the viewing audience, I didn't get it until late last night, and I just got back from Canada, so I didn't have enough time to read it, because it's like 300-something pages. You wrote your ass off. But I am going to get into it. But you started the first couple pages, you started off pretty hard with some allegations and some stuff about, how your mom isolated your grandmother, and you can explain what you said.
Yeah, definitely. My grandmother, you guys saw the season where she was supposed to be on there. My mom was not involved with my grandma's illness. She lived in her house, and my grandma felt like my mom was avoiding her.
Remember that episode?
Yeah, and in the episode, my grandma's not even awake. She was on so much morphine and all that stuff at the time. They're holding her up. My aunt and my brother's awake and alive, but grandma's just, it really was sickening. It didn't air till after grandma passed, so it was really hard to watch that.
So she was acting your grandmother's health condition for TV.
That's it. They called us and said grandma's not gonna make it probably through the night. She's in the hospital. We live in Washington. That's where the family's at.
And she was in a coma.
She was. I don't know they were just saying she had cancer, so they were
keeping her alive for the family to get there.
That's what they were telling us. So
okay.
It's 3:00 in the morning. We hop in cars. Everybody's flying down there. At the time, I'm on the internet, so I'm posting on my Twitter what's going on. So my mom's like, "Don't drive car. I'll fly you down there." Because she's trying hard. She wants me to stop talking in the media at this point. I flew down here. I was here for maybe 2 days. My mom never showed up. Like she was filming her bachelorette party. You guys seen on that episode?
I was there. I may have been there. Okay.
That bachelorette party. Grandma was at the hospital. The whole family was down here, and we were in the hospital. We were camped out. Blankets, kids. We took over the waiting area.
So why didn't she come and film that?
Because it wasn't. I don't know. You'd have to ask her and her producers because they used what they wanted to. Mm-hmm. Then when my grandma waited, she had asked when they told my grandma this trip, this is it. You're probably not gonna make it much longer. Leaving that hospital is I want to go home, and home is Washington for us. Mm-hmm. My mom, no, and the whole family was there at this time, right? My mom says no, walks away. She comes back, and now the family's like, well, she's saying she wants to go home. My mom threw a fit, kicked everybody out of her house in the middle of the night. They all we just came down here to see grandma. There's no hotels and stuff, so they came back home. Okay, it was crazy. She called me, and she's like, all this stuff is going on. Maybe a month later, my other cousins down there, my grandma said, is your mom here? She had left to go do her filming, and my grandma said, pack my shit, just like that. My oxygen tank and a couple outfits, put it in my truck. Mind you, Doug helped them pack the car.
Doug seemed,
Love Doug.
And this isn't any shade towards your mom, but Doug seems like a really nice person.
Yeah.
Doug is a good person.
Did he ever try to defend you or ever try to tell her hey, you need to reach out?
No, and I brought this issue to my mom clearly a bunch of times. There were discussions within the family. You know, they would sometimes turn heated, whatever, but we spoke about this. And she would call Doug in, you know, and sometimes I'd say, this is not me and Doug's issue, it's just me and you know, and his pointer was, you're a great mom. You know, he'd always supported his wife, which is fine. I don't care.
Because he loves her.
Right, right, but that's not your mom. That's your wife.
Right.
You can't tell me how I feel about my mother, you know, so I'd always tell her there's no need to drag him into it, and she would always.
Did Jackie make it to your grandmother pass?
Yeah, she did end up passing away about a month after she made it up to Washington.
Did Jackie make it to the funeral?
She came 2 days before. She was mad. I'm going to say that. She was mad. And the way that my grandma's funeral and stuff was handled, you can tell she was mad at my grandma.
She was mad at your grandmother?
She was very upset at my grandma.
Wait, so she was mad at your grandmother for what?
For leaving. My grandma left. She dipped. She had been there since I was 9, like I said, and we had been there. She kept the household up. You know, she's the cook of the clean until she got sick and couldn't move no more, you know.
And so when you say you could tell by the funeral that she was mad, what do you mean?
She sent the money up to the funeral home, told us to go get everything set up. We went. They had like a pine box ready and some little stuff they had gathered. Maybe, I don't know, $200 funeral, what they were telling us. And we're looking like, wait a minute. You know, we've buried our aunts and it was luxury type stuff. It doesn't got to be that, but we're not putting our grandma, like we're not the matriarch of our family. We're not going to disrespect her like that. We start on Twitter, all of us, all her grandkids. You know, my grandma's kids, they do their own thing. Her grandkids, though, we got common sense, and we knew we was not going to let our grandma go out like that. She had a best friend, and her best friend paid for my grandmother to have a decent coffin.
Jackie's best friend?
No, my grandmother's
Your grandmother's best friend, okay.
And her name is Alfreda, and she was up there. She came, my grandma went under the morphine maybe 3 days before she passed away. And so people would come in from far and near to try to visit and say bye. And when she did pass, like I said, we started trying to figure that stuff out, and we're looking like, we called her.
So you felt like Jackie was retaliating against your grandmother in how that she was going to let her...
She wouldn't let her talk to my brother, and my grandma raised like how she did me. I was there, you know, me and my grandmother raised Douglas from the hospital. He came from the hospital to our room, you know. He never spent a night with my mom. Like, she never had to do that. We did that.
So what do you think are one of the biggest misperceptions of Jackie, good or bad, that the public has? And what do you think one of the biggest misconceptions of you that the public has?
Definitely. My mom is just not, she wants to be real, but she can't accept who she is. The past is the past. It made you who you are, you know?
So she wants to be real, but she can't accept reality.
She can't. And if the reality was to come out, she's going to deny it, you know? And that's why she was upset about my book.
Does she deny it in the sense that... because using the parallel again, I remember my mother struggling she had good years when I was a kid, you know, whatever. Santa Claus would come to the house, gifts would be provided. Then when she got into drugs, Santa Claus would come to the house, but then the gifts would be sold. And so she used to always say to me, even up to when she died, you know, I was a good mom. And I had to, you know, once I had forgiven her and I had let the anger go.
You saw that she was.
I said, you were a good mother, and then you were not.
Right.
That's your story.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of stuff she was saying and the forgiveness she was asking for as she was dying, I just had to give her that because she was dying and I knew she was dying. I was not going to sit there and stand over her bed and say, you're an evil bitch, blah, blah. I mean, I literally did forgive her by then. Right. But do you feel like your mother is in denial that she was not a good mother to you?
Yeah, I think she's in denial. And I don't say that you're not a good mother because you're the mother to the ability that you were able to be it. Like my mom, she's not out there in the clubs and partying. And I seen my cousins deal with that.
Wait, say that again. What? Your mother was a good mother, what?
She was a good mom, you know.
To her ability.
To her ability.
Best ability.
So when did you learn that? Because I didn't learn that till my mom died.
Then like you said, why do I not go crazy? Because in my mind, maybe she's hurting. Like I don't want to hurt somebody. Like I don't want nobody to feel pain just from the pain I felt. Like don't feel pain.
How old are you?
28.
Let me ask you a question. Was your grandmother a great mom to Jackie?
Grandma kind of like had a checkered past, you know. They was growing up in the 70s and all that stuff. She had her issues and stuff. You know, they went through the system. What I've heard is my mom's always been different. You know, the different child.
But I'll play. Let me play the other side of that. My mother grew up sexually abused by her father and physically abused by her mother.
Jesus.
But she chose to be a good mother to one child.
Right.
You can't if you just don't know how to love.
You don't have babies.
It's just a thing.
That's where I come in with. okay, it's just me. Like there's something about me that's not for you.
So do you have the closure yet that you need to understand what do you need the closure for why you were treated differently than Chantel?
No, because I've accepted it, and for a long time I let her tell me I was crazy and thought maybe I am crazy. You know, maybe I am just making something. I know I'm not crazy. You know, and I've accepted it. It is what it is. She never has to admit it. She don't ever have to speak to me. You know, I'm good. I don't have any anger. I'm not mad. And this situation is what it is, more for her than it is for me.
I think one thing that you said, sorry, Gio, one thing that you said that's powerful that I hopefully people are listening that you said, because my mother used to say what you just said. She used to always say, I'm doing the best that I can. And as a 10-year-old in a group home, you don't understand what that means.
Right.
But later on, as I developed, I said, oh, when a person says I'm doing the best that I can, they're telling you my limitation is this. This is all I can do.
Right.
But I didn't realize that until 35. When did you come to terms with that?
When my son got hurt and she didn't reach out, that was a hard time because I needed her. Like I needed my mom. You know, I've never felt that I needed somebody. You know, I felt like I'm about to go crazy. I cannot believe this really happened. You know, every time I think about it, just the emotional roller coaster I was on. Just Carl, you're gonna be okay. Would have meant the world to me. You know, but I wasn't worth that, and that's what sticks in my mind. You know.
But you were worth it. But to the perception to you was to her you weren't worth it.
I'm not worth it. I'm not worth it. My son getting hurt, going through the pain he went through wasn't enough for her. And then the fact that as his mother, the pain I was going through wasn't enough. That's where I'm at with it, you know. When I was growing up, I was a fat girl. I was the black girl. I was, okay, that was that. I will never be that again. Like, you can't, if you say that to me now as an adult, I'm grown. So I'm going to take it as an adult, you know.
Yeah, they said it to me on my Instagram. Right. I'm thick. Shit.
I'm just not even going to go, you know. It's a matter of keeping the issue where the issue's at. And the issue with us now is, how do you really feel?
Gia, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say that took, when you already answered the question, I forgot what I was going to say, but you already answered the question as far as like, sometimes I think it's pride as well. I mean, somebody can always know when they're wrong, and I do it with my daughter all the time. I have a 15-year-old daughter, and I know it's times where I might grill her or say something I feel like I shouldn't say just in the heat of the moment, but my pride sometimes won't even allow me to say, I'm sorry.
I have those moments, but I refuse. I'm just not going to let them think, you know, if I feel bad about it, I'm going to say something. You know, if I do something that makes me feel bad afterward, you know, I'm going to say something.
If your mother called you up tonight and said, Takari, I'm so sorry. I love you. I apologize for everything that I've put you through. Can we start over? Can you see yourself having an applicable mother-daughter relationship with her, like clean slate?
I'm going to be the realest person I am. And I'm going to be the same person I am with everybody. So, yes. Now, whether that would be real at this point from my mother, I don't know. I would question it. I would. But, yes, Jackie has a daughter over here and grandkids that are more than willing to have her in our life. We're not on whatever it is, you know. She said my book was a book of lies and stuff like that. I think she was in fear of what was going to be in the book.
Oh, absolutely.
What's the question I asked you? What's the perception of you that people have that may not be accurate?
Definitely. That one that I'm still stuck in, you know, just get over it. I'm over it. Like, this is new to you guys. You know, it's just coming about. I've lived this for 28 years. I'm in a level of acceptance you guys cannot even understand, okay? I don't live every day thinking like, man, I wish Jackie would call me, or, you know, what do I got to do? I got to cook, I got kids, I got, you know, stuff I got to do. I'm living my life. So that people are like, oh, you need to go get a job. And I have always worked and take care of myself and my children. My mom has not financially supported me at all. And I don't know why, you know, she says those things or whatnot, but whatever. She does. That's not true. I take care of my family on my own. Me and the father take care of our kids. There's no one else supplying our home.
You have 3 boys. Is it the same father for all 3?
All 4 of my kids.
All 4 of your kids. Okay, so let me say this to you. You know, fuck what people say. I mean, at the end of the day, you live your one life the best way you can. Yeah. I mean, I gave my mother peace when she left because I needed that for myself. Right. But I don't have a relationship with my father, and I'm not. And I know I think he's 70. You know, and I'm not pressed because I got real shit I got to deal with every day.
I'm telling you.
So I would say that, just my own advice to you is that you can find healing and comfort in your own journey without all the external acceptance of your past from everybody, the public, your mom. Because all of that don't mean anything when your rent is due, and all that don't mean anything when your kids need to eat.
And let me tell you something. That's my focus. With the show coming on this year, I think that's their focus. We got to eat. What they want to hear or what we think is populating our show right now is this situation.
Oh wait, one more thing, advice though. Stop letting them tell your story on that show. Get on the show. And wait, hold on. And I'm not even saying for fame. Don't not get on the show because of what you think it'll look like.
Right.
If they talk about me on Love and Hip Hop one episode, bitch, bring the cameras.
But that's a good producer. She know what she's doing. She's not gonna tell one side of the story to her fans and not get you on there. Like I see all them shows. I watch MTV and stuff.
Let me say this. Shawnee O'Neal and Jackie Christie, don't do another episode or another season of the show without letting her come on and tell a story, because the thing about reality TV, and this is why I left that show and went to Wild 'N Out, because reality means we gonna really sit in the room and we gonna really give it to you. Exactly. And I feel like, and I love Jackie to death, and Jackie, this is not personal. I'm gonna call you after the show and say, by the way, heads up, Takari's gonna be on the show. But I want to see her vulnerable. I want to see her accepting the truth as hard as it's going to be. Not from a cast member that she can say, you don't know me. From a person she created. Right. That's reality TV. That's going to make me fall in love with Jackie if she can actually, I'm in love with Jackie, but fall in love with Jackie on the show if I can see the vulnerable side of her dealing with you. So I'm telling you, you need to fight, be your own best advocate. And don't hide in the shadow and say, "Oh, I can't do that because it's gonna make me look." No, you're talking about me.
I'm making it known that I will go on there and speak to my mother. And they've reached out this year. Not they. Evelyn reached out.
You got Shawnee's number?
I don't have Shawnee's
I'll give it to you. And here's what you do: you have a book release party, and you tell them come shoot. You want your mother at the book release party, and you invite the show to come cover that.
I like that.
And listen, my better judgment kicked in. I'm not going to give you a number out, Shawnee, but I am going to text you because we need to hear the full story. And like I told you at the break, Shed Media is her partner. You can figure this out. But you were telling me something at break. What were you saying?
Definitely. So I have an attempt to try to get my side of the story on the show. I've had them reach out, or Evelyn reach out for records for the GoFundMe account. Okay. Somewhere down the line on the show, I think they're still talking about it. Okay. And she's confronted about it. So she's like, I need to know what day you started it and what day I actually donated. Okay. Evelyn, I'll gladly bring those records to you, but I will bring them to you. I'm not sending anything else, because I can't keep arguing through other people. Right. This is my son's GoFundMe. This is our situation. I can tell you guys everything.
And this is your life.
Right. Mm-hmm. So she said, I'm going to hit up the producers and I'll see what I can do. And I never heard nothing back.
And so you were saying at break that when I said you should get on the show and tell your story, you said that you were told what?
First, I was told that my mom would not shoot with me. Then I was told that she would leave the show if I shot anything.
And this is coming from where?
The only person I've spoken with was Evelyn. So, if I find something out or if I'm trying to get information, Evelyn, I want to get on the show, or, well, your mom said you can't shoot.
Have you talked to Shawnee?
I've never spoken to Shawnee, and I don't speak to Evelyn on the phone. It's through messages, it's all in my DMs. So,
paper trail.
Yeah. So Shawnee, nobody else has ever reached out. Just Evelyn. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever talked to? Is Tammy and your mom? Do they get along on the show? I can't remember.
Think so. I'm not sure. Tammy's had a lot to say about like the incident or the situation in her own interviews and whatnot, which is not fair.
What's her take on it?
They thought I was scamming people with the whole GoFundMe thing, and that's pretty much what she said. From what I know, it wasn't needed. And I don't know what she knows because my family started that GoFundMe page, meaning they are aware of the situation. If they thought, oh, her mom is going to help her, there's no need, This is the outside people that took care of that. It's known by everybody.
And so they were saying you were scamming because what?
I mean, you have proof that your son was burned, like it's physical proof.
Yes. So she just said I did this. My mom's on TMZ. The first thing I heard my mom say about this is on TMZ. After that went viral, the next day they caught her on walking at her somewhere. And she's like, if my daughter wanted some money, she could have just called. I sent her enough money where she should have been able to pay those bills, is what she said.
Was that true?
That's not true. And it was like a big slap in the face, like, for one, why am I hearing your first response to your grandson's being
TMZ.
burned on TMZ.
Was that the first response?
That's the first thing I ever heard about my mom's feelings toward this situation.
Wow.
Like nobody else could tell. I talked to your mom and she said, nothing. That was the first thing I heard.
Okay, so your book, Lights to Her Shadow. Why did you feel the need to write that book? And what are one of the revelations that will be shocking in the book that you should tell people?
One spoiler alert.
Oh, good. That's a good question. But the reason to write the book was, like I said, I have to tell my story. My story is bigger than just my mother, the reality TV show that people see. I am a person too. I have a history and a life, and I wasn't writing a book about my mom or her secrets and whatever, I don't know that life. And I think that's what propelled her, for her anger towards me. And that's what you guys are seeing now. She was nervous. If she would have waited till the book came out, we probably wouldn't be this far into this. I'm not going to lie. The thought of a book, she's writing a book, everything's about to come out and it's going to be.
I was confused at how Chantel going over to build a bridge between Evelyn and your mom made your mom believe that she was now taking Chantel over to the other side. How do you think she came to that perception?
It's just the way her mind works. She told my grandma I was building a cult of people against her. So that's just the way her mind works.
Are you addressing your mother as mom or Jackie or somebody else? Because I'm sure she didn't give you the legal right to use her name.
Well, she can use her name. She's a public figure.
Oh, okay. Because when my daughter's mother wrote a book about me, she definitely didn't use my name.
Oh, I listen. When I wrote it, I tell everybody, don't put her name. Everybody know who my mom is.
Got
Just
you.
Mom.
So you don't say Jackie Christie.
No, and then most of the people in the book, I didn't put their full names on. Like, my sister's name is like Shani or Shan or something. Like, I didn't put Chantel. You know.
Oh, so to put a person's full, because I'm getting ready to start writing.
My name was Gabriel in my daughter's mother's book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So would she have to get your permission to use your name?
I think so.
Because I'm going to put everybody's name in my shit. Fuck them. Sue me. That's good promo shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because I'm thinking of Superhead when she was talking about all the dick she was sucking.
That's what I always think back to. Like,
But did she say exactly?
Yeah, she said it. Ray J was crying in the bed. She said all kinds of shit.
That's why she faced a lot of lawsuits.
Farnsworth Bentley was in bed with Diddy. I mean, not that was true. What up, Farnsworth? I'm just saying, because that's the homie. I don't know. Okay, so now, where do you go from here? So you're at peace for the most part of everything that happened. Now that you've told your story, you referenced earlier that there's going to be a second book. What's the next book going to reveal that the first book doesn't?
Definitely. The first book is going up to right before my epiphany in life, and just understanding what I was going through. This next book is going to be about pretty much behind the season of Last Basketball Wives. All you guys seen what my stand was, how I'm being approached, what I was going through, all of what was really happening. Because you guys seen what was filmed and put on TV and what was said and whatnot. But there's a backstory, a whole story to it.
So I recently interviewed Khalees, and she shared with me that Nas used to beat her, and that she was
Allegedly.
a victim of, well, this was her words, allegedly beat her. She was a victim of domestic violence. And I asked her, what made you decide to get your voice back today? And she said, I've lived in 9 years in silence or edited. And today I said, not today. Right. So what motivated you to get your voice and say, you know what, this is it. I'm going to now speak my piece.
Definitely. I realized you're standing on your own 2 feet. Your kids are going to watch how you react to this situation. I teach my kids, you stand up for yourself. I don't care who it is, stand up for yourself. My mom is discrediting me and saying things about me that is not. If she's just talking, my grandson got burned, I have a daughter named Takari, okay, there's nothing I can say. But when you're putting lies out there, trying to make an image of me of a certain way, I don't have a choice besides to speak up. Definitely. If I don't want to be those things, and I'm not those things, so I want to speak up.
So to young girls or boys who may be listening who've had the same experience where maybe if a parent has discarded them or hasn't given them the love and affection or acknowledgement that they even exist or that their story exists, what do you say to them to help them find their courage?
Be better, never bitter. Be better. Be better than what they think you are. Better than even what you think you can do. Just be better. Being bitter is going to hold you back and make you exactly what they think.
Wow. That's something I need.
Wait,
to
say
live
your
by
line.
myself.
Just go on and say your line.
That was deep. I need to live by
Because
that.
I know you want. That's his line. I knew you wanted to say it, but it was deep. That was.
Yeah, be better, not bitter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Please.
And I would piggyback on that and saying, if you are bitter, give yourself some time to be bitter, because it's okay to be bitter.
It is okay to be bitter. Just don't let it take over your life.
Now that part,
live, because when you do decide, okay, I am over this. You don't want your life to be gone. You want something to enjoy.
Amen.
Do you regret anything? I
don't regret anything. Listen, it's all life, and it all made me who I am today. Anything I can say I've been through, I'm sitting right here. So I went through it. I'm good.
Do you find yourself a better parent in spite of how you were parented?
Of course, I definitely do. I'm hands-on every minute I'm with my kids. My kids can hug me. They can touch me. They can talk to me. I didn't have that with my mother, but with my grandmother, I would, any normal situation.
Well, I would say to everybody listening, and you too, Jackie, the one thing Khalees said in our interview that was really powerful, and I mean, people have talked about this interview and her story, and I've seen the different sides of it all, is that, no, matter of fact, it wasn't Khalees. I'm sorry. It was Jennifer Lewis. We had Jennifer Lewis here who was talking about depression, and she said, everybody who has a story, tell your story.
Yes.
And to just keep telling your story and tell everybody. And, the thing about your truth is that only you own it. So don't let nobody take it from you.
Yes.
Okay, so the book is called Lights to Her Shadow, and when is it out?
That book is out.
That book is out.
You can get it now.
Okay.
Stanton Publishing House, Angela Stanton. I love her.
I saw she wrote the foreword.
Yes, she came in and she helped me because she believed in me. She didn't want anything from me. She just wanted to help me get this story out.
Nice.
And that's all she's done in the whole time I've known her. So
where can I get the book?
You can get it on Amazon, my website, takarilee.com. I believe you can go in Barnes & Noble. They will do a print-on-demand order for you.
Okay. Through print on demand.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Well, congratulations on having the courage to tell your story and for being, a good parent to your kids.
You have beautiful children, by the way.
Thank
that
you.
Little nugget out there.
I know people didn't listen. We were at a break, but I heard a baby yelling, "Who the fuck brought a baby to the goddamn studio?" Sorry, it was your kid.
No, Jacinda goes everywhere. She has to. She's been everywhere with me.
No, but thank you for coming on and telling your story.
Yes.
And I am going to reach out to Jackie to say, hey, heads up on Wednesday.
Well, tell her I said, hey, Mom.
And remember,
I gotta
guys,
call your mom and tell her that you said hello.
I'm telling you.
guys.
Well, let me ask you this: if I was able to put together, no, I'm not even gonna say a sit down between you two. I want to see that on Basketball Wives. But I will text Shani. I will text Shani.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. Where can people follow you?
They can follow me on Instagram, Takari_Lee.
And remember, guys, be better, not bitter.
When does Basketball Wives air? Mondays, right? Okay, make sure you tune into Takari's Instagram Live every Monday night after Basketball Wives. All right, we're out. Peace.